So let us get started. Good evening and welcome you all to this special session on emerging trends in project management. And first of all, I would like to thank all of you for joining this session. And I hope at the end of the session, you will feel that you have learned something very useful to you, which is going to enhance your career. So I'm going to give a brief introduction about myself later. But first, we will start with the topic for the day, that is emerging trends in project management. So, whenever we talk about project management, immediately what comes to our mind is the PMP certification, right? Even though there are many certifications in the project management, but PMP is the most uh, popular and most recognized across the globe. And 85% of the certified project managers are PMP certified. So we need to know a bit more about it. So I think there will be something for all the type of target audience in this session. So for those who are actually managing some projects, but don't have any formal project management training or certification, and even for those who have passed PMP, then who are already a PMP certified uh, project manager. Again, what is the latest trend? That also you will get some information. So the PMP, the project management professional, is the most sought after certification in the field of project management worldwide. So this is recognized across industries. It is not that it is the project management principles as per PMP are applicable only for a particular domain. So irrespective of any type of industry, whether it is IT, construction, oil and gas, manufacturing, especially the research and development, healthcare, and more. So about the certification body, so the PMP certification is offered by the Project Management Institute, that is PMI, and which was founded in 1969 in Philadelphia, USA. So the PMI is a global authority in the project management standards and certification. So it is actually a non-profit organization. So the sole motto of the PMI is to just spread the best practices for project management across the globe. So even though the PMI was started in 1969, the PMP certification was launched in 1984. But over the last 40 years, there is a exponential growth in the PMP certified professionals across the globe. So as on 2018, over 2.1 million professionals have been certified as PMP across 200 plus countries. So while there are more other certifications like Prince 2 and others, the the next best project management certification is Prince 2, but that is way behind. Almost 85% of the project managers or project management professionals are certified by PMP. So this remains a gold standard due to its focus on practical application, strategic alignment, and global recognition. So the one of the very important aspect of PMI is the project management guidelines are updated maybe every 4 to 5 years. So depending upon the latest trend. So they are closely in touch with all the stakeholders from the industries from across the different domains. So irrespective of whether it is IT or manufacturing, construction, oil and gas, so small or big, and then in academic institutes and other universities and so on. So they are in touch with a wide variety of the stakeholders, and they are in constant touch with all the stakeholders. And based upon their feedback, then they just keep on updating the guidelines maybe once in 4 or 5 years. So that is the reason the practices are almost up to date. So we'll be learning about that shortly from now, how it is getting updated. So why you should go for the PMP certification? It will help you to enhance your skills. So it will help you to exposure to the mainstream thinking and current trends. So as I told you, every 3 to 4 years, the guidelines are updated across, according to the industry needs or the global needs. And if you are going to be PMP certified, then you are going to be in line with the current trends, emerging trends. And it aligns your hard skills with the global best practices. So already you may have some expertise in some hard skill, maybe in a particular domain like IT or construction or oil and gas. And once you are going to be certified as PMP, then it is going to give a, it will align you with the global best practices in project management. And you gained knowledge to manage the projects better. So you'll be able to gain how you can manage the projects in a better manner. The second reason is it will give you a identity. So formal display of your professional ability. So not all the people who are writing the PMP exam, they get certified as PMP. So it needs a lot of skills and understanding of the concepts and how you are going to really apply those concepts. So the PMI always test the understanding of the concept rather than mugging up the theory and then just writing those theory paper. So it is going to be a multiple choice question, which is going to really test your understanding of the basic concept. So it builds the professional and social reputation. So again, the PMP certified professionals are valued across the globe, and even the social this thing, there's a lot of reputation is there, and it boosts the self confidence as a project manager. So after getting certified as a PMP, you will definitely feel far more confident of managing the projects. Third, the reason is career. So it gives a significant edge in the global job market. So not only in India but across the globe. So especially in Middle East, the demand for the project managers, PMP certified project managers, is exponentially increasing. And even in countries like uh, the companies which are US based or Europe based, they always look for uh, PMP certified project management for handling the offsite project management. So that is very important. So it gives a significant aid in the global job market, and it gives a higher pay. So typically, I'm going to show you a slide. So across the countries around, you can expect 20 to 35% better salary when compared to a similarly qualified person. Only the difference is PMP certification. You will get around 20 to 35% salary more. So the PMP credential helps the employer win more business. So many of the foreign countries, especially the USA and Europe, they give the contracts to the other countries, in companies in other countries, mainly because of the project management. The projects are going to be managed by the PMPs. Networking, again, the PMI is actually a well-knit member networking. So there are a lot of chapters across the globe. And once you become a chapter member, then you'll have a great opportunity to network with the similar project managers and the higher officials from the different companies. So you also will be able to connect and mentor the PMP aspirant. And you can also join the communities as a PMP. Yes, Ajit Kumar, any questions? Okay. So why you should become a professional project manager now? So the companies no more want just the project manager. That means the people who are going to manage the projects. So for the namesake. So the companies no more, they want to have the namesake project manager. They want certified professionals who can lead complex, high impact projects. So nowadays, you know that the situation, the business environment is becoming more and more complex. A lot of competition is coming. So the again, the global, you may have to work with a global team. So again, virtual teams is becoming a norms of the order of the day. So, and accordingly, the complexity of the project is also increasing. So until unless you have a certified professionals managing the project, it will be very difficult for the successful completion of the project. So according to the survey they are done by PMI, by 2035, the world will need around 30 million more project professionals, right? So this again from the official PMI site. So much of demand is there for the PMPs, project managers. And again, survey findings, they highlight a 35% salary advantage for a PMP certified professional. So bridging the gap between the industry needs and talent, PMP certified professionals are among the most sought after in India every year. So PMP is the most recognized credential to prove your skills and credibility. So this is a slide I was talking about. So you can see that across the countries, what is the gap between the salaries of the employees who are PMP and non-PMP, right? So the average salary for a PMP certified project manager is around $28,000. Yeah, and if it is a non-PMP, it is around 20,800. So a 35% difference is there. So the across the even in can say that in Middle East also Saudi Arabia again the difference is 31%. So definitely the PMP degree, that the PMP certificate always add value to your qualifications. So that is a small background about why the becoming a PMP is important in this modern day project management. So now let us get started with the understanding of what is PMP. So let us start with the definition of what is a project. A project is a temporary endeavor undertaken to create a unique product, service, or result. So when I say temporary, it is not that it is going to be lasting only for a small time period. Temporary means it is having a clear start and end date. Any project will have a clear start and end date, and it is undertaken to create a unique product, service, or result. For example, a construction company, they may just start a project for the residential buildings, right? Residential apartments, some 4 high-rise buildings. So that is the first time. So that particular project has got a clear start date and a clear end date, maybe after 4 years. And again, it is going to be unique because in that place, then it is the first time particular this building of such a height is going to come. So a project again, even if you are going to celebrate the birthday party of your son or daughter, or if you are going to celebrate the marriage function of your brother or sister, again, that also can be considered as a project. So it is not that the projects can be done only in your professional life. The projects can be done in your personal life also. So like building a house or celebrating the first day party or arranging for a marriage, or these are all examples of project. And if you become a PMP, definitely you will that skills you can extrapolate to your personal life also. So a project has got the following 3 characteristics. So it is going to produce unique or a different product, service, or capability or result. So either you may just create a new product like a new building or a new service. Maybe currently I am doing only the Lean Six Sigma and PMP. So later I may just uh, uh, try to go for the Agile methodology. So that is a new service as far as our company is concerned. That will be taken up as a project. And then different unique capability. For example, an organization can take a improvement project to improve the yield from 80 to 95%. Or they may just take up a project to develop a new product so that they can be the first in the market with that particular product. Again, that is a new capability or a new result, right? So it is again temporary, as a clear beginning and end, and the end is reached when objectives are reached. So if the construction company has completed the 4 high-rise building with the 1,000 houses, then the project is going to be completed because the objectives are reached. The projects also can be ended when the objectives cannot be met. For example, whenever you are reviewing the project continuously, periodically, you find that maybe because of some uncontrollable reason, the project cannot be completed on time, or there is a heavy over budget it is going, and then it is not going to be economically viable, then also the project can be cancelled, or need for project no longer exists. So maybe you are starting a project to develop a new product, but in midway the customer may come and say that the there is no need for developing that particular product because that need is not going to be existing. So in that case also the project can be cancelled. So the projects are not ongoing efforts. So the ongoing efforts we call as a operations. Right? So there is a clear distinction between a project and operation. For example, automobile company like a car manufacturing company like Maruti, they can just take up a project to develop a new model of a EV car. Right now, the EV, it is trending. So they may just take a project to develop a EV car. So maybe that project may go on for maybe 3 years. So once the car is developed and then the test runs are done and the drawings and all the specifications are frozen, then maybe they can just again go for a project to create a facility for producing 1000 cars every day, right? So developing the car can be taken up as a project, and building a capability or capacity or a unit for uh, producing this 1000 cars every day, that also can be taken as a project. But once the new facility is set up and the machines are erected and installed, and the people are recruited and the processes are in place, and the production of the 1000 cars happening on a daily basis, then it becomes operation, right? So operations is never ending, it is ongoing, right? So there is no start and end date for operations, it is going to continuously. Third characteristic is about progressively elaborated. So the initially, when you start the project, maybe the requirements may not be well understood or clearly defined. But as you are proceeding further in the project, then the more and more information is needed, and then you will be able to do the micro level planning. So that's what we call as a progressively elaborated. So these are the three distinct characteristics of a project. So regarding the project management, again, there are two different definitions are there. And as I was telling you, like the PMP certification came into existence in 1984. And in 1991, the PMBOK, that is a project management body of knowledge, that became the reference material for the project management best practices. And the definition of project management starting from the PMBOK 1 to PMBOK 6 that was released in 2016. So almost around 30 years, the same definition was there. So the definition of the project management was application of knowledge. So we are going to talk about some processes, right? Some 49 project management processes. There was in the PMBOK 6. So how we are going to apply all those processes and the skills, the interpersonal skills, and the tools and techniques. So each of those 49 processes had prescribed tools and techniques to be applied in that particular process, right? So how we are going to follow those processes, apply your interpersonal skills, and apply the tools and techniques to the project activities to achieve the specific goals and meet the specific success criteria. So you may be taking up a project to just complete the project within a specified budget and a specified timeline. So if you are going to complete the project within the budget and within the timeline, then your project is successful. Right? So that was the definition of project management as per the PMBOK 6. So all must be expertly managed to deliver the on-time and on-budget result. So delivering the outcomes of the output of the project within the specified time and the budget. So that was the aim or the objective of the projects as per the old definition. So as I was telling you, the first the PMI PMBOK was released in 1996, and it was having a total of 176 pages, 9 knowledge areas, and 37 processes. And then you can see that every 4 or 5 years, then it was getting updated. But only thing is, you can see that the basic structure was remaining the same. So we are talking about a structure where we are having some knowledge areas and processes, right? And ITOs, inputs, tools and techniques and outputs. So the format is almost similar till the PMBOK 6th edition, but in 7th edition, there was a major structural difference was there. So that again, that is why it has happened and what are the benefits of that. So that is what we are going to learn now. So the PMBOK stands for the Project Management Body of Knowledge. It is a global standard developed by PMI for managing the projects efficiently. So it provides a structured approach to project management, helps the professionals plan, execute, monitor and control, and close the project successfully, and adopted across the industries worldwide. So any type of industries or domain or verticals, these principles can be applied. So that was the small description about this project management body of knowledge. And recently, the PMBOK 8th edition is actually already ready, and it will be rolled out from July 2026. And the PMP examination is going to be based upon the revised content from July or August 2026. So that also is going to be added. So as per the up to PMBOK 6, again you can see the project management was the basic structure was it was having 5 process groups and 10 knowledge areas. So when you talk about knowledge area, it is a particular aspect of managing the project, right? So yes, so Sigmar, any question?
Um, how can support for this project management to the sales?
Ah, project management to sales.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so for example, now you are what type of product or service you are making?
Actually, I am into engineering services
Okay.
related to sales.
Hmm.
That we deals like industrial services for the oil and gas sectors for the
Yeah.
product and the sales.
Yeah. So if you are going to expand to a new market, right? So for
Yes,
example,
sir.
till now, new
Exactly.
country, yeah, you are going to have a new sales in a new country or
Yes, sir.
a new product that have been developed, and then you want to market that new product, right? So that can
Correct.
again be
Exactly, sir.
that can be taken up as a project. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So the basic structure is about 5 process groups, that is initiating the project, planning, execution, monitoring and control, and closing, right? And there are 10 different aspects of the project management: the scope management, schedule management, cost, quality, resource management, communication, risk, procurement, stakeholder, and integration management. Right? So 5 process groups and 10 knowledge areas. So this was the basic structure up to the PMBOK 6. And in the initiating phase, you just do a high-level definition of the project. You document in the form of a project charter. So that is going to give the high-level information about what is the objective, what is the project title, what is the objective of the project, what is the scope, what are the deliverables that is going to be given, what is the milestone, different milestones plan, what is the budget for the project, who is the project manager, who is the project sponsor, and what are the high-level assumptions and risks. So that are all documented in the project charter. And then you also identify the stakeholders who are having the impact on the project, because the stakeholders are the one who has to be managed very closely so that their requirements can be uh, collected, then can be included and prioritized, and can be included in the scope. And then finally, the product can or the service can be delivered. So the stakeholder identification and the project charter, these two happen in the initiating phase. Then in the planning phase, you just make a plan for the each and every aspect of the project management. So how we are going to manage the scope, how we are going to manage the schedule, cost, quality, risk, etc. So you're going to make a individual plan for each of these aspect, and then you just integrate all those plans into a single plan called as a project management plan. Because again, if you are going to have multiple plans, then one plan from one aspect may be contradicting the other plan. So there may be a confusion. So that's why all those plans are made individually first, and then they are integrated into a common document called as a project management plan. So all the work that needs to be done in the project will be included as a part of the project management plan. So if you are going to do any work in the project which is not there in the project management plan, so that means you are not, whatever you are doing is out of scope. And if you are going to do this out of scope work frequently, then you may be again losing. Your budget may increase for the same deliverable. So you make a project management plan and then stick only to those activities, then your project can be efficiently completed. So once you have made the planning, project management plan, then you'll have to execute the plan. So while you are executing the plan, again, there may be day-to-day challenges may be there. So the resources may be difficult to procure, or the materials may arrive late, or there may be some environmental factors like cyclone or heavy rains, etc. Or some supplier might have suddenly gone out of the site. So all those all those incidents may happen. So how you are going to manage those day-to-day activities? So that is going to be the skill of the project manager. So how we are going to execute the project management plan? So that is what is the challenge. So how you are going to manage the resources, deliverables, quality, risk responses, etc. So that is done during the executing phase. So while you are executing the project, then again simultaneously you also have to do the monitoring and controlling. So whether the project is progressing as per the schedule, or there is a delay, whether the cost is within the budget, or are we overspending the money, is the quality. So is it really meeting the customer specification? So all those things we have to measure as we are progressing in the project. And if there is going to be a deviation, then we need to really take some corrective and preventive action so that the deviation can be minimized and then the project can be brought back to the original schedule. So that is done in the monitoring and controlling. Simultaneously, while the project is being implemented, suddenly there may be some changes may come. So the customer may ask for some more extra features, or because of the changing technology. So again, the way in which you are going to do the project, there may be a change in that. So how we are going to manage the changes that is requested by the different stakeholders, that is also will be part of the monitoring and controlling, change management. And then once the project is completed, then you'll have to formally close the project. So you'll have to make a final closing report, and then you'll have to uh, uh, prepare the lessons learned and archive it, and prepare all the reports, and the resources can be deployed to some other project. So this is the end-to-end activities in the project management. And as I was telling you, there were 10 knowledge areas were there, and this is actually PMBOK 5. In PMBOK 6, there are 49 processes were there. So again, each and every process group in each knowledge area, which are the processes are there. So that is the breakup here, right? Okay. So again, as I was telling you, the project management definition as per PMBOK 6 was followed till 2020, right? And again, there were some limitations in the way the projects were managed as per the PMBOK 6. So the first one was, it was overly process centric, right? Process centric. Focus shifts to documentation over project value. So the attention of the project manager was mainly on documenting the project. So how do you make the contracts? So how do you make the project management plan? So even for a 6 months project, then you may be preparing some 200-page project management plan. So again, all the documentation was, the focus was more on the documentation rather than delivering the value to the customer. So that was becoming more and more process centric, and it was inflexible for the agile or fast changing environment. So when the customer requirements are changing quite fast, especially for the software projects and IT service project, when the requirements was quite changing, and in fact, in many of the IT projects, the when the project is going to start, the customer may himself may not be knowing what is the exact product or service he wants. So typically, he will be giving some basic requirement. Then, as a developer, we will have to develop and then demonstrate to him. Based upon that output, again, he will add more features, and then it evolves. So the product or service will evolve by a collaboration between the software company and the end user. So when the requirements are quite changing fast, then the PMBOK 6 was not very adaptable. It was more rigid. So that means until you cannot start the project until unless all the requirements are collected, and the scope is requirements are prioritized, and the scope is finalized, and then again it is broken down into units, which is called as the work packages. So all those things has to happen before we can start the project. But again, in the current environment, especially for the IT project, that is very difficult. So the PMBOK 6, the way of project management was not really helpful, and the limited focus on the outcomes, right? So the success was measured in terms of the scope, time, and cost. So as I was telling you, if the project was completed on time, within budget, and if all the scope of work is completed, then the project was considered to be successful. But whether the real value has been delivered to the customer or the organization, so that was not actually focused. For example, assume that you are working for a construction company who are making this high-rise building. So if the company takes up a project to build 4 high-rise building having 1,000 houses, and it is to be completed within 3 years and within a budget of 50 crores. So at the end, if you are able to complete within 2 years and 9 months and within 45 crores, and if all the 1,000 houses are completed as per um, the government regulations and rules, then that means the project is completed successfully. But whether the because of doing the project, whether the construction company, whether it earned profit or not, right? Until unless you manage the project efficiently, then it may not be profitable. So whether finally by completing the project, whether the organization earns some the profits. Again, that was not the focus. And again, the customers, whether they were getting the state-of-the-art facilities in the high-rise buildings. Again, that was not the focus, right? So some scope of work was determined at the beginning of the project, and some initial budget was assumed, and the initial timeline was assumed. And if you are able to complete within that, that means the project is completed successfully. So it is just like operation success, but patient died, right? Maybe the project was completed successfully, but the organization was losing money on that. And the users also, the people who are going to occupy the house, they are also not happy. These type of results were coming. So because the focus was only on the uh, meeting the time and cost and scope targets. And again, as per the PMBOK 6, minimum people are soft skills. So again, the project teams, again, they were like in the collaboration. So in a construction project, the masons, the carpenters, and the painters, so they'll be having their own supervisor. And there will not be any cooperation or the collaboration between these different supervisors. And then because of a lot of rework may happen, and a lot of wastage of material and time may happen. So because of that, again, ultimately the project may suffer. And one of the other thing was about the leadership. So as per the PMBOK 6, so it was more of a directional type of leadership. So that means the project sponsor, who is normally the person from the senior management, who is accountable for the successful completion of the project. So the project manager will follow the instructions given by the project sponsor, right? So he can give his opinions or he can give his recommendation, but he has to follow the decisions given by the sponsor. So similarly, all the project team members, they have to follow the instructions given by the project manager, right? So this type of the hierarchical leadership was there as per the PMBOK 6. Again, that was creating a lot of problem. Then is restricted adaptability. So limited guidance across industries and project sizes. So irrespective of whether the project was like a very small project, which was completed maybe within 3 months, or a project which is extending for 20 years. Again, all the 49 processes has to be applied. So there was no provision or a framework for customizing the requirements for the project as per the size or complexity. So that was again one of the major constraints. And again, end-only delivery, no continuous usable sub-product. So in the construction project, as I was telling you, so until unless all the 4 high-rise buildings are completed and handed over to all the users, then only the project will be completed. So that means the deliverable for the project is completed only at the end of the 3rd year. So the organization and the individual stakeholders has to wait for 3 years to enjoy the benefits, right? Because there was only one-time delivery, that too at the end of the project. So these were some of the limitations of as per the PMBOK 6. So while this project management principles were in place, as far as I was telling, then during the late 1990s and the early 2000s, you know that there were a lot of IT software development projects and IT service projects. They started booming up. So all of you are aware that maybe in the late 1990s, the Y2K, that the year 2000, right? The millennium was changing to 2000. So because of that, a lot of work need to be done in the software. So that there are a lot of projects which are taken up. And so at that point of time, the software professionals, they felt that this project management framework, as per the PMBOK, what their place, that was not really helping, because as I was telling you, the requirements of the customers were changing quite fast, and they were not able to cope up with that. So a group of software engineers in USA, they just assembled, and then they just talked about how they can overcome the process. And then based upon their discussions and their effort, a new methodology was that came into existence. We call this the Agile methodology, right? So this Agile methodology is actually came up mainly only for the software development, right? How we are going to manage the software development projects. For that, this Agile methodology came into place. And there were 4 core values and 12 Agile principles were there. So that's what we are going to learn now. The 4 core principles of Agile refers to the Agile manifesto, which guide the Agile project management and software development. So these Agile 4 core values are applicable only for the software development. So the first value is individuals and interactions over processes and tools. So instead of following the rigid processes and using the prescribed tools, so the focus should be more on having the motivated people as your project team members and constantly interacting with the end users, right? Motivated people and the interaction with the end user. These are the 2 key areas we should focus in order to meet the changing requirement of the customer. So that was the first value. So individuals and interaction over processes and tools. Second value was working software over comprehensive documentation. So, for example, if a software company is entering into an agreement with a bank to develop a ERP system to automate their workflow, and maybe there are 10 modules are there. So for example, like how the for the transaction, cash transaction, one module may be there. For the insurance, maybe another may be there. For the asset management, there will be some other module may be there. So 10 different modules are there. So in the old way of the project management, then the first, the software company, they will have to collect the requirements for all the 10 modules, and then they will start writing the software, and then they will test it. And by the time after 2 or 3 years, they just hand over the software to the bank for doing the user acceptance testing. At that time, the processes in the bank itself would have changed to a great extent. So then it may not be really working, either because the process in the bank has changed to a great extent, or maybe the requirements were not collected correctly at the beginning, and that again reflected in unusable software. Again, there were a lot of problems that were facing because of that. So that's why, as per the Agile, then we'll have to give a working software. So we call this a minimum viable product. So this is what we special terminology as per the Agile, minimum viable product. So it's just to do first, for example, only for the cash transaction is a module there. So that module, you just work upon it, and then you complete it within 3 months, and then hand over to the bank, and then they can start using it. So the bank also is getting the value, because some of the improvement, manpower reduction can be taken place, some improvement can take place, and same way the organization also can get some money. Then they can just work on the asset management module. Again, work on that for 4 months, and then you just hand over to the customer, and then the customer can now handle both the automated processes for the cash transaction and the asset management. So like that, module by module, the software can be done, and then the customer also get a usable product over a period of time, and the organization also will be able to monetize their efforts. So this is what we got as a working software over comprehensive document. You just cut down the scope of work into minimum viable product, and then do one piece at a time, so that you will be the organization and the customers will be able to get some usable product. Third one is customer collaboration over contract negotiation. So as per the old way of project management, if any changes are needed by the customer, then that has to go through a very extensive change control procedure. So whenever the customer comes with the requirement for a change, then that will be reviewed by the team, about what is the impact it is going to have on the schedule or the cost or the scope. And then they will just forward their observation to the project manager. The project manager again will review what is the impact, and then he will forward his recommendation to the steering committee or the change control board, who will then again approve or reject. So again, it was taking a lot of time. Changes were possible, but the process was quite heavy, so that it was actually slowing down the changes being implemented. So that is why, again, as per the Agile, customer collaboration over contract negotiation. So instead of spending enormous time on seeing whether that particular change is within the contract or out of contract, you just collaborate with the customer, and whatever the changes is asking for, you just give it. And then if some of the work, whatever is initially planned, the customer does not work, remove it. So those type of flexibility should be brought into the system. So that is what is about the third value. The fourth one is responding to change over following a plan. So again, whenever the customer requirements are changing quite fast, then don't have a very high level planning for the entire duration of the project. Say, for example, for the construction project. So don't have a very micro level planning for the entire 3 years or 4 years. So you just have a very high level planning for the whole project. And then you do the micro level planning only for the first month. And then when the first month is ending, you do it for the second month, right? And then in that way, if you are going to do, if any changes are going to come, then you can easily include that as a part of your plan. So responding to the change over following a plan. So again, you can see that the principles were promoting the adaptability, right? How you can change to the meeting the changing requirements of the customer. So it became more of a customer centric, how we can satisfy the customer more, and team empowerment. So this can be successfully completed only if you have a motivated team of people, right? So the team empowerment, customer satisfaction, and adapting to the change requirement. So these became the primary principles under this Agile. So again, these four core principles, values that gave rise to 12 Agile principles: the customer satisfaction, improvement in customer satisfaction, changing requirement, how we are going to meet the changing requirement, frequent delivery, as I was talking about, minimum viable product, every frequent deliveries instead of one delivery at the end. So multiple deliveries over a period of time, the regular interval of time, regular interaction between the customer and the supplier, motivated employees, self-empowered team, face-to-face meetings or interactions, measure the outputs, then sustainable development processes. So your development process will be robust so that rework and everything is avoided. Technical excellence and good design, simplicity, self-sufficient or self-organizing team, and continuous improvement. So again, the continuous improvement is one of the very important aspect of the Agile. So whatever the work you are doing, maybe you are going for a first release. So you are following a particular process. You are using a particular coding language, and you are using a particular database. And then you just see how it goes. And then at the end of that particular release, you just again review. So whether that software, the language was good enough, whether you were able to do a efficient job using that language. Again, that database, whether you were able to work well with that. Suppose if it is not, then what can be changed? Can we change to some other language, or can we change over to some other database, right? Or even if it is working well, then what changes we can make in the next release so that it be more efficient. So the continuous improvement is one of the very important aspect of the Agile Manifesto. So continuous improvement, the interactions, face-to-face meeting, self-empowered or motivated employees, and customer centricity. These are, and then technical excellence. So these are some of the core principles of the Agile Manifesto. Okay. So now till 2000, again, for all the projects were managed as per the project manager PMBOK, whatever was existing at that point of time, PMBOK guideline. And in the year 2000, then again, this Agile methodology came into the existence. And again, the PMI was again watching, like they were just observing. And then during 2015, then they thought if a particular framework can work for the software development, then why not for the other domains like the construction or oil and gas or manufacturing or some new product development? then why it cannot be extended for other domains? So then there was a complete shake or a complete changeover in the entire basic structure, right? So whatever was the definition, the application of knowledge, skills, tools, and techniques to project activities to meet the project requirement. So this definition of the project management was changed from 2022 after the existence of IMPOC 7, that projects do not simply produce the outputs, but more importantly, enable those outputs to drive the outcomes that ultimately deliver value to the organization and its stakeholders. So instead of just giving the output, like I have built 4 high-rise buildings with 1,000 houses within 40, 50 crores and within 3 years. So instead of that, I'm going to see how I can um, make more value for the company, right? So that the company makes more profit and the end users also, they also get the best of the benefit, right? Value for money. So how we are going to give this, right? That is going to be more focus. How the value is going to be delivered to the organization and the stakeholder. So that becomes the focus now, rather than completing the project on time before the within budget, right? So the major influence in the change in the basic structure is because of the Agile methodology introduced in 2001. So because of the influence of the Agile methodology in 2001, so this particular change in the PMI structure that came into the existence. So now, as per the PMBOK 7, now we have 12 project management principles and 8 performance domains. So instead of having 5 process groups and 10 knowledge areas and 49 processes, now as per PMBOK 7, you are talking about 12 project management principles and the 8 performance domains, right? So again, the project management principles, like for example, stewardship. So how we are going to care for your project team members, how we are going to, because again, as a project manager, the organization has given a lot of resources to you. So how we are going to use those resources in a very prudent manner, in a ethical manner, and caring for the people. That is what is the stewardship. Then team. So how we are going to form a self-empowered team. So self-organizing team, so that the team can plan and execute the work. And as a project manager, you will have to only remove any impediments or um, any obstacles they are facing. For example, they may be not be getting the required software or hardware, or some of the customer requirement are not clear to them, or some of the funds are not released from the finance department. So the role of the project manager is to take care of only those obstacles to solve for the team, and the team will always, they will do the planning and execution of the work. So that is the empowering the team. Stakeholder, again, stakeholders are very important aspect of any project. So how the stakeholders are going to be managed. Then again, value. So the focus is on value delivery. So whenever you are doing any activity, then how you can do it very efficiently, so that the more value can be generated for the organization as well as for uh, the stakeholders. And next one is about system thinking. So when you talk about system thinking in the old way of a project, for example, why the project is delayed? Because the cement did not come or the steel did not come. The purchase department, they didn't place the purchase order early, or the contractor, he didn't supply the required manpower. So always the blame game will be going on. So the one department, the project manager will just put the blame on the different department, right? But now it is more of a system thinking. So assuming that all the other departments may have their own problems, then how you are going to understand all those problems and ensure that proactive actions are taken up, so that the project work is not going to be delayed. So that's what we call as a system thinking. So without blaming or pointing out any other team, how we are going to proactively work upon the project so that the project work is not going to be delayed. That is what is the system thinking. Leadership. So again, there is a difference between the leadership and management. So management is more of a short term, giving the direction to the people and getting the work done. Whereas the leadership is more of it is empowering the team, and then more of a facilitating and then guiding the people with empathy and active listening and so on. So that type of leadership is very required. Tailoring. Tailoring means customization. So depending upon the size and complexity of the project, how we are going to customize your processes and the tools, so that you will be able to efficiently do our work. quality. So again, the concept is quality has to be built into the processes. It should not be just made by doing some inspection. Whatever the product or service you are making, at each and every stage of the project, then you have to build the quality in, so that at the end you will get the right quality product. Then complexity. So again, the requirement of the customer may be quite complex. So how you are going to break them into small slices, and then you just deliver as a small pieces. So that is what is managing the complexity. Risk. Again, how you are going to manage the risk. Adaptability and resilience. Adaptability is whenever the customer's requirements are changing, then how you are going to uh, take care of the changes. And resilience means like whenever you are doing the work, maybe some failure is happening, then how we are going to come out of that failure quite fast. So one of the very important term in Agile is fail fast, right? So you do some experimentation, and even if you are going to fail, okay, no matter, because you are going to learn something out of it, and then using that learning, then go for a improved process for the next stage. So failure is only it's a learning opportunity. So that's what is the resilience. If anything goes wrong, then don't just think only about that and then keep quiet. Just see how you can quickly come out of that. So that is again one of the principles. And then change management. So how we are going to manage the changes to the project. Yes, Sunil Kumar, any question? Okay. So these are the 12 guiding project management principles as per the new PMBOK 7. And again, there are these 12 principles will be manifested in 8 performance domains. So stakeholder management. So all these 12 principles will be applied on how you are going to manage the stakeholders, and again how you are going to manage the team, the life cycle. So which type of the approach you are going to use. So whether you are going to use the predictive life cycle, where you are going to deliver the product at the end, or agile methodology, right, or adaptive methodology, where you are going to at a frequent interval of time you are going to give the deliverable. So what life cycle you are going to follow. The planning. So planning is again one of the domain. The project work is execution. Delivery, how you are going to deliver the services, product or service. Then so means for example, in the predictive or the old way of working, we call it a predictive or a traditional way of project management. So in that cases, the delivery, there will be only one delivery at the end, right, at the end of the project. But as for the agile methodology, it is going to be frequent. So maybe every 15 days or every 2 weeks or every 4 weeks, particular release will be made, and it will be given to the customer for giving the feedback, right? Or maybe after one minimum viable product is completed, again that will be offered to the customer for testing and using. So that's what we call as a delivery. So what type of delivery you are going to make? Then measurement. So what are the different metrics you are going to measure in the product to improve the efficiency? And then how we are going to manage the uncertainty or the risk. So these are the 8 performance domains. So as per the old methodology, it was 5 process groups and 10 knowledge areas, 49 processes. But as per the PMBOK 7, now the focus has now shifted from just meeting the uh, scope, time, and the cost, just meeting that. Now the focus has now shifted to deliver the value to the organization and the customer. That becomes more important. So again, these are some of the way, like for example, I have given an example of how these 12 project management principles can be applied to a residential project, right? Residential construction project. So the first principle is be a diligent, respectful, and caring steward. So you should be very diligent. So whatever the resources you are given, you should use it diligently, prudently. Respectful, you should always respect the people or the stakeholders, and caring, you should take care of the team members. So again, how you can demonstrate that in the construction project? So you ensure the safe disposal of the cement bags, steel scrap, and wood waste, so that you are demonstrating that you are a responsible citizen. Follow the safety and environmental standards to protect the workers and residents. Right. So you have to take care of the all the statutory requirements as well as take care of the people. So that will take care of the first principle. Create a collaborative project team environment. So hold the coordination meetings between the architects, civil engineers, electricians, and plumbers to avoid clashes, right? So again, all these different departments, they'll have to do a coordinated work so that the project can be completed successfully. So how we are going to facilitate the meetings between these different stakeholders will again create a collaborative environment. Effectively engage with the stakeholder. So conduct weekly progress update with the homeowners association and investors to align the timelines, budget, and design choices. Right. So again, as per the PMI principle, always interact with the customers and stakeholders. What are the ask for? What are the requirements, and then see how those requirements can be taken care in the project. Fourth one, that is very important aspect, that is focus on value. So, for example, choose durable, cost-effective tiles and materials that reduce long-term maintenance instead of going with the cheapest option. So instead of, in order to complete the project within the budget, so compromising the quality and going for a inferior quality product may help you to complete the project within the budget, but it is going to have a long-term effect. Long-term, the customers are going to suffer. So the right way of doing is even if the project is going to exceed the budget, see how in other ways you can just reduce the cost, but don't compromise on the quality so that the long-term gain will be there. So that is what is the shift in the focus. Fifth one is recognize, evaluate, and response to system integration. So again, as I told you, we will have to see the entire organization as a single unit, not as an individual department. So assess how changes in the foundation design affect the drainage, plumbing depth, and electrical contents to prevent costly rework. So whenever you are doing any work, how it is going to have the impact on other works. That also you have as a systems view you take so that you can take care of all the requirements so that any rework is going to be reduced. Sixth one, demonstrate leadership behaviors. When heavy rain delays the work, replan indoor tasks and keep the team motivated rather than allowing work stoppage. So instead of saying that, okay, washing your hand and say that it is raining, so the work is stopped. So the workmen are idle, the labor are idle, but the work is not happening. So instead of that, see how the work can be reallocated so that the indoor work can be completed. And when the rain stops, then there can be made up. The external work can be made up. So that is the type of situational leadership, right? Depending upon the situation, you can just plan the work. Fourth one is tailor. Seventh one is tailor based on context. So, for example, use spreadsheets, Excel spreadsheet for a small villa project. So, make your documents like project management plan. You can just make a 5-page project management plan, and then maybe you can use some Excels or Google Sheets, and then you can complete the project. But if it's going to be a 10 years project, very complex project, then you can go for the softwares like MS Project or Primavera. So, depending upon the complexity of the project, then use your resources. Eighth one, build quality into processes and deliverables. So implement stage-wise inspections. That means right from the foundation, curing, steel placement, concrete strength, everywhere you do the rigorous testing so that at the time when you are doing the final completion check, then everything will be okay. So don't wait for all the problems to be noted only at the when you are going to hand over the flats. So try to do the inspection at each and every stage so that the final output is going to be right. Ninth one is navigate complexity. So manage the dependencies between the contractors, for example, civil contractors, HVAC contractors, interiors, etc. So many different departments are going to be, dependencies are going to be there. So you'll have to manage them in a nicely in such a way that even if there's going to be a delay in one area, that does not block the entire project. So you'll have to see how those complex situations can be handled. Optimize risk responses. So identify risks such as the labor shortage or the cement price hike and mitigate by signing up the backup labor contracts or bulk purchase agreement, right? So more of a proactive work. Embrace adaptability and resiliency. Adapt to meet project to new regulations like adding rainwater harvesting without relaying the deadline. So suddenly the government may come up with a requirement saying that rainwater harvesting has to be included in as a part of the project. So again, don't get bogged down by that requirement. See how you can just change your plan so that that requirement can be incorporated in the project. So whenever any sudden changes are coming, how you are going to quickly adapt to the change requirement. That is very important. Then enable change to achieve the envisioned future state. That is very important. So transition from the traditional brick to eco-friendly fly ash bricks and integrate the solar panels to achieve a green building mission. Right. So again, I'll give another example. For example, as per the old version, so a bank is asking a software company to write some automated software. So as per the old way of the project management, if you are delivering the software and get the user acceptance signed by the bank, that means your project is completed. But now the focus is whether the bank employees are using the automated this thing without any problem. So the project manager's responsibility will end only when the envisioned future state for the bank, because the bank envisioned state was they should all the employees should work with the automated system. So until that situation, that status, the project manager responsibility will be there. So so that's how we'll be able to ensure that the value has been delivered to the customer. Right? So you can see that there is a very drastic shift in the focus as per the old and new way of project management. Okay, so now we are into now the project, as I told you, 2021, the PMBOK 7 was included. But now over the last 5 years, again, some more trends have come in. That's what we call as an emerging trend. So now they tailor the principles to fit the project context. So again, the tailoring is becoming more and more important. So as per the requirement of the budget. So if it is a small project, then use the minimum documentation and minimum infrastructure and then do the work efficiently. And if it is going to be a very large scale project, then you'll have to make the extensive documentation and extensive infrastructure so that again the project can be completed successfully. So depending upon the context of the project, you will have to tailor the principle. And then embed the continuous feedback loops. So again, you'll have to always give the feedback get the feedback from the customer. And then depending upon their feedback, again, you fine tune the product or service so that the final outcome will be very good. Then drive the outcomes with KPIs. So again, see how the value can be delivered to the customer. So whenever some sudden changes are coming, how we are going to react to that. Resilience is very important. And then the sustainability is now becoming a very important parameter as per the emerging trend. So whatever the projects you are going to do, so again, don't just have a short-term view, just have a long-term view so that you will be able to sustain. So more of a green uh, way of no, or the even in the construction nowadays in the European countries and USA and even the Middle East. So the green buildings, no. So where you are going to use the energy efficient, like electrical, like the bulbs and other things, ACs and all, or the bricks and everything. So where you are going to, or the solar panel, right? All those green, this thing is coming, that's catching up. So sustainability is becoming a focus area now. So this is the from the principles to practice. So instead of saying that 12 the project management principles, instead of them remaining only in the paper, how we are going to put them into practice. So that is going to be the focus area in the coming future, near future. Then the hybrid and contextual methods, models. So now, initially, all the projects were done in a waterfall or a predictive or a traditional way of doing, right? So where the planning was done upfront, executed, and a single delivery was made at the end of the project. So there was the waterfall or the traditional or predictive way. Agile means so whenever the customers are giving any changes, then incorporate changes, and again you give the deliverable minimum viable product to the customer. That is agile. Hybrid, again, certain portion of the project you do in a agile way, and a certain part of the project you just do in a traditional way. For example, if you are developing a new drug, so the customer requirements are changing quite fast, right? So that part of the development, then you can do that in a agile methodology, agile way, so that you can meet the changing requirement of the customer. But once the drug is developed, and then it has to be approved by the FDA or the any of the government agency. So the government agency, again, they have some stringent rules and requirement, and that is not going to change quite fast. That is going to be stable. So that part of the approval part of the project, you can just do it in a predictive method. So in the same project, you are blending you are combining both the agile and the predictive way of method. So that's what we call as a hybrid. So within the same project, depending upon the requirement of the project, you will be for some part of the project, you'll be using the agile methodology, and for some part of the project, you'll be doing the predictive way. But now the focus is you are going to go for a blended model. So don't talk about agile or don't talk about the predictive or don't talk about hybrid. So whatever the approach is going to give the best result for you, then go for that. Right. So don't get limited or bogged down. I want to use only the agile, or I want to use only the predictive, or I want to use only the hybrid. So whatever the approach, project approach is going to give a deliver more value to the customer, try to focus on that. That is what is the blended model. Now, the use of AI to guide the delivery choices. So how the product or service will be delivered. So again, the use of artificial intelligence and machine learning. So the latest trend is how you can incorporate AI and ML to the delivery, project delivery. So that is now the emerging trend. Design ecosystems for context and complexity. Third important emerging trend is digital transformation. So AI co-pilots for planning, risk, and optimization. So now, whatever the routine work previously, the project manager's main role was to fill up a lot of update, a lot of status reports. He has to circulate to the different stakeholders, and then he has to attend to a lot of inquiries and all. So a lot of effort was spent on administrative work, preparing the reports, making the reports, delivering the reports, getting the feedback, answering them. So most of those work was routine work was done. But now all those routine works are going to be replaced by the AI tools, right? So all the planning and the risk and optimization. So everywhere the AI can help the project manager, right? So the regular planning, the risk prediction and optimization. Now all those AI tools are available. So the project manager can take the help of this AI, and then he can just focus on the human part of it. Again, the AI or the machine cannot replace a manpower, right? Again, there's a famous saying that AI is not going to replace the man, but the person or the people who does not know AI will be replaced by a person who knows AI, right? So the AI is going to become one of the integrated part of any of the work, and the project management is also going to be influenced by that. So the automated reports and tasks will be done by the AI tool, so that the PMs can focus only on the human side of it, providing the right leadership of the project. So based upon this emerging trends, again now the PMBOK 8, as I was telling, so there is actually, it is supposed to be released on April 2026, and the ECO is actually examination content outline. So the ECO, we call it examination content outline. So based upon this outline only, the PMP examination is going to be conducted. Examination outline, content outline. So that is also going to change. So if any one of you are planning to write the PMP exam, then try to expedite your this thing, so that after July, so the new PMBOK 8 is going to come into picture in April 2016, and from July 2026. So the examination pattern will change, right? Again, it is going to be based upon new PMBOK 8. So again, it's going to be extensive. A lot of changes are going to be there. So according to the new PMBOK 8, it integrates the PMBOK 6, 7, and Agile and industry practices. So previously, all these were existing, even though PMBOK 7 was in existence. So some of the processes in PMBOK 6 were also being followed, right? So now the PMBOK 6, PMBOK 7, and Agile principles and industry practices. All those things have been now combined together into one entity, which is called as a PMA standard. So again, it's actually previously the PMI used to just give the hard copies, right? Hard copies of the PIN book. Now everything is going to be in the electronic format. All those documents have been integrated into one document called as a PMI Standards Plus. So this is going to provide the practical and scenario-based guidance. So the PIMBOK 6 and PIMBOK 7, they were more of a prescriptive, right? They were not very practical. So the which tools to be applied, which concept to be applied, that was prescribed. But how to apply, and then which template or which document should be used, again, there was no, it was only prescriptive, it was not demonstrated. But now, as per the PIMBOK 8, so again, there's a lot of how you can practically apply those project management tools and template and artifacts in the document. So that is being clearly done. So that if you are going to follow Pimbo Kit, then you'll be able to have some sample tools and templates which are available so that it is ready to implement. Practically, you will be able to apply. So again, it is going to be a fully blended approach. So there is no not going to be any distinction or the differentiation between the predictive, agile, or the hybrid. So as I was telling you, whatever the approach is going to help the project, so that approach is going to be followed, fully blended approach. So now the stronger guidance on the benefit realization. So how the long-term value for the project is going to be realized. So the more focus is on that. Governance. So again, the PMO, the project management office. So how we are going to govern the projects using the PMO, that entity. So that is becoming important now. Sustainability. So how we are going to make a long duration sustainable product or services and value delivery. So a lot of emphasis is going to be on this factor. Importance to digital approach. Everything is becoming more and more digital now. So all the manual reports and manual work is going to be replaced by the AI tools and other the tools and techniques and machine learning. AI tools and machine learning is going to play a very important role. So again, as I was telling you, the official content will be released during April 2026 and the exam content outline will be changed from August 2026. So as for the current weightage, so again, the total 100% of the marks, typically you get around 175, 80 questions, 180 questions to be answered in 4 hours. So that is what is the current format. All multiple choice question, 4 options will be there, and you will have to select the best one. And in very few questions, maybe 5 or 10 questions, maybe 4 or 5 options will be there, and then more than one answer also can be right. But typically, more than 95% of the questions, there will be 4 options will be there, and you'll have to select the best option. And the different topics are broadly classified into the people. So when we talk about people, so about the team, about the project managers, leadership, the team roles and responsibilities. So people related aspect was around 42% and process related. So the schedule management, cost management, all those type of knowledge areas, there was 50%, and business environment. So the value delivery, benefit management, and how it is project is aligning to the organization strategy. So that aspect was covering only 8%. But now you can see that the business environment is now going to gain more. So from 8%, it is going to go up to 26%. That means the trend is that the project managers are supposed to play a more and more important role in meeting the strategic objectives of the company. So it is not only meeting the project timeline and the budget, but how you are going to ensure that the project is going to meet the align to the strategic objectives of the company and how it is going to bring value to the company. So that is going to be very, very important. So that is the reason the business environment part of it, the weightage has been increased to 26%. So that's what is the latest trend, emerging trend. So this is again the comparison of the PMBOK 6, 7, and 8. So approach more of a process-based, prescriptive, whereas the PMBOK 7 was more principle-based, value-driven, and adaptable. So now, as per PMBOK 6, it is a evolved principles with more focus on complexity, digital transformation, and data-driven decision. So that was going to the focus. Focus more on process groups and knowledge areas. PMBOK 7, performance domains and value delivery. And here we are talking about complex business environment, digital tools, hybrid methodologies, and sustainability. That becomes a focus. Processes, 49 processes, 10 knowledge areas, ITOs, no prescribed processes, 12 project management principles. So now the 12 project management principles have been defined. Now it's going to be only 6 principles. It has been toned down. So it will be helpful for managing the complex projects and more of AI and ML, machine language integration. Methodology, more of a predictive, and here it is the agile and hybrid. It is more of a blended. Risk management, it is the detailed risk processes where the risk is one of the primary performance domains, but more emphasis on the risk management. Tailoring, so no customization, but Timbuk 8 is going to be for more customization. Stakeholder management is going to take a very important lead role, and tools and techniques is very important. So in the PMBOK 6, it was very prescriptive, detailed tools for each process prescribed. And as per PMBOK 7, tools chosen based upon the project need. But now the emphasis is on digital tools, data analytics, and project automation. So a lot of automated tools are being prescribed for the managing the project. Sustainability and ethics, again, strong emphasis on sustainability and ethical consideration of project. So that is going to be the major thrust as per the PMBOK 8. So that is what is about the what I wanted to tell. So now I'll just give a few a brief introduction about our company and myself. So our company name is called as ICEQBS. So it is a globally one second. So we are actually a globally trusted consulting and training organization, and we are headquartered in Chennai. So we deliver the training across the critical areas, mainly for the process improvement, like the PMP and the Lean Six Sigma, Black Belt, Green Belt, and Yellow Belt, and ISO 9001, internal auditor training, and Kaizen 5S, etc. So you can see that all the process improvement and the problem solving methodologies and tools, we focus on that. So our major customers include the Hyundai Motors, TEV Germany, then L&T Valves, Tata Communications, Mahindra and Mahindra, Standard Chartered Bank, Pfizer Healthcare, and even Amazon we have worked with for quite a time. And I am the lead trainer here, and my name is Sanamle. I am a BTech graduate from IIT Varanasi, and I passed out in the year 1985. And I have a total of 40 years experience, 30 years in employment in reputed companies like Burgapa Group and Siemens. And for the last 10 years, I am running this company. And I am a certified master black belt from Indian Statistical Institute, Chennai. And I am also a certified project management professional, PMP, since 2011. And I have hands-on experience in applying the best practices of project management to complete projects on time and below budget. So I have experience in working both in manufacturing company and IT service company, both in the operations and the quality department. And when I was working in those two companies, I was also involved in the software development, like the ERP development or the workflow management development. So I have a fairly good understanding about the software development process also. So whenever I'm taking the PMP exam, then I'll be able to give the right example from the different domains. So why choose iScoops for your PMP training? So what is the advantage you're going to have? So we are actually using the PMI authorized digital courseware. So we are using the official content from PMI. We are the authorized training partner ATP for the PMI. So we are authorized to issue the 35 hours period certificate, which is mandatory for the exam. And again, we are always conducting the live online expert-led training service session. Normally, I only used to take the training on behalf of our institute. So we have the downloadable slide decks and case study activities. So full-length mock exams with explanation. So we have a set of 7 mock tests are there. So again, taking you through the different difficulty levels. So 100 questions with maybe 2 hours, then 150 questions, and then 200 questions like that. So we'll slowly increase the difficulty level. And when you take the final 2 exam, then the difficulty level will be similar to what you get in the PMP. So 1,000 plus practice questions and exam simulators. So interactive quizzes and the agile scenario exercise similar to what you get in PMP. And application guideline, we guide you for the application. And post training, any doubt clearing, we always regularly conduct a weekly session for all our participants who are preparing for the exam for clearing any doubts. And we have a lifetime access to the LMS portal. So all the recordings and the quizzes and tests and mock tests, all are uploaded in our mobile app, LMS, Learning Management System, and you will have the lifelong access for that live material. And the program deliverables is 35 hours of PD certificate and a free 1-year access to the official PMA study material. Then you will have the complimentary access to our mobile app or the LMS. You will get the assistance for the application and personalized one-on-one exam preparation guideline and post-training mentorship. And this is what is the certificate that will be issued by us, 35 SPD certificate. And again, as I told you, we are the authorized training partner for PMI. Okay. Sunil, I think you have any questions? Sunil Kumar, Tulasi Kumar.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, what is the course fees structure?
Yeah, that again, we have the different this thing. So that maybe we can just contact these two numbers. So they will give you. They, again, depending upon the country, again, it is also country based.
So, and also,
Uh,
I am from sales and marketing department. Is it relevant to useful for this course?
yeah,
Are you
definitely.
suggested?
Yeah. So as I told you, if you are going for a new market or a new product, you wanted this thing
Yeah,
promote or something
actually, I
like
am
that.
looking for the overseas the business to
Yeah,
say, oil and gas sectors and petrochemical plants.
yeah.
So,
A lot of opportunities are there. Yeah,
okay, sir. Great, sir. Your training section is very useful for the young and entrepreneurs and all the people who joined for this webinar.
yeah. Okay.
Thank you,
Thank you.
sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you. And how can I
Thank you.
get this section certificate, sir?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you'll have to complete this 35 hours PhD certificate, and then the journey will begin there. So,
Okay.
and then we will have to prepare, maybe depending upon the time what you can spend during the, and then maybe a month or 4 to 6 weeks of preparation you may have to do. And then there's a process we will explain. We will handhold you till you complete the exam, and then for even whether you are taking the Lean Six Sigma or PMP training. So once you get into our institute, then we lifelong you can travel with us. We will always guide you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Nice interaction.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Hi,
So,
sir. Hi,
yeah.
sir.
Yeah.
Thanks for your guidance and explanation about the PMP certification. All. It was a very
Yeah.
good knowledge sharing.
Yeah.
My question
Yeah.
is yes, sir. Is that so? As you told that in August, July, the PM book 8 will release, and
Yeah.
before that, after that, the exam patterns also be changed. So,
Yeah.
how we can plan now exams for the PMO 6 and 7 base? So when will
Yeah.
the
So,
exams will be there? How short fall we have the time?
so you
Can you
have
please give the
now
guidance on this?
we are in November. So December plus July. So
Yeah.
7 months of time, 7 months time you have, right? So typically, it will take around 4 to 5 weeks for the training, right? And then maybe another 4 to 5 weeks for the preparation. So it can take around 10 to 12 weeks you will need for minimum you'll need for the training and the exam preparation. And then maybe, so if you
Okay.
are getting the training maybe by December or January, then you will be safe.
Okay. So exams will be in March or frequently it will monthly wise? How the exams
No,
can be?
exam will be like happening anytime. So it is just like doing the railway, railway reservation. No? So again, you go to the portal, then that will display. Again, you
Ah,
can
that.
take it, yeah, you can take it sitting at home also.
Mhm.
No need for you to go to the center and then take the exam. So either from your office or from your home, you can just take the exam. We call it a proctored exam.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
The second question is that how the current scenario that we are entering after the PMP certification or my experience in the MEP side in construction EPC projects.
Yeah.
So how after this certification completion the generation AI, how this application will happen? In doing the course, do you help us to get into some AI tools learning
No,
techniques?
AI tools, no. Actually, we are currently using the AI tool like ChatGPT for generating some scenarios, right? So that while you are learning some concept, for example, how to engage the stakeholders, right? You will learn some concepts and theory. And then, for example, you are working in, say, construction or oil and gas, then how these concepts or tools can be applied anywhere. So by you can just give some prompts. So we have some standard set of prompts so that you can give that and then you will be able to understand how you can apply it in your own area of work. Then your understanding will be better, right? Instead of saying theoretically
Okay, sir,
that these
understood.
are the tools and this thing. So right now, to that level, we are using the AI. But right now, even I am not aware. I have not gone through the PIMBOK yet. So how this AI and ML, how it is integrated, right now I don't have an idea.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Just I have raised came in questions that after we pass the PM book 8 and that patterns are more in demand that we get audited past that, so should not impact us in career
No,
way.
no,
That's
no, no,
why
no. Say, for
just
example,
concern about.
I when I just passed the, I got certified in the 2011, right? So at that time, PIMBOK 5 was in place. So now PIMBOK 8 is going to
Okay.
come, but I didn't take any re-exam, no? So the certificate is valid for 3 years,
Yeah, yeah,
and
fine.
you will have to renew it after every 3 years, but by paying some fees, and there's some other requirement is there. But you don't have to take the exam every time the PIMBOK changes. No need for take the exam. But only thing is you have to keep yourself
Okay, okay,
updated. Whatever is the latest trend. So attending some
okay,
webinar,
okay.
webinar like this, or you can attend some courses or something like that. That will help you to keep you updated.
Understood, sir.
Yeah.
In
Okay.
last final, they said during the this course program, do you teach us the MS project, a prime mirror 6, what you have shown that
Right
template
now, that is
for the
actually not in the
principles of
scope.
construction?
Yeah, we will just only give the reference saying that these tools will be used, but we don't take that as a, maybe you don't spend some say 30 minutes or 1 hour explaining about how those tools can be used. We'll just say that for the schedule management, then you can use the Primavera, right? But how we are going to use that and all, we don't know.
Understood, sir.
Yeah.
Understood, understood.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for this concern
Thank
and
you.
guidance.
Thank you. So any other questions? That is Sandeep Kumar or someone, I think you raised your hand, right? So any other questions from anyone else? You can just ask me now.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So do we need industrial experience to get into this project management course or something?
Yeah. Typically, like how many years of experience you have?
So right now I am pursuing masters in pharmaceutics.
Okay. So typically for taking the exam, PMP exam, the minimum requirement is that you should have 3 years of experience in project management. And you should have taken this training and you should clear the exam. Like the 35 hours of PD certificate and this training and educational qualification, these two are must. That answers your
So
question? Yeah.
so basically 3 years experience has to come from project management department itself, not any other industrial experience.
No, for example, that's how we'll fill in the application. Then you can just see. For example, if somebody is having 5 years in 10 years in manufacturing, but during the 10 years manufacturing, he might have got involved in some project, no, maybe some improvement project or some capacity enhancement project. So it is not that 3 years you should have led a project. So that is not the requirement, right? So they don't expect that you should have taken a lead role in the project management, but at least you should have been involved in a particular project. So you can say that I was involved in my capacity in my plant was increased from 500 tons to 1,000 tons. So I was involved in the project for 2 years. And then this was the work I was doing, right? So I was helping in the installation and the erection of machineries or maintaining all those things you can give. So involvement in the project for 3 years, that is what is needed, not a lead role or a management role.
All right, all right. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay. But if you are going to just immediately after the academics, if you are going to do, then it may not be possible. Okay. Okay. Any other questions?
Hello, sir. I
Yeah.
have 6 year experience in quality department. May I
Okay.
join for the PMP project and it's have a 5 or 6 company experience.
Okay. In quality, in product quality or process improvement?
Process improvement, quality control.
Uh, so if you have taken, for example, like some process improvement projects, like yield improvement or productive improvement project, then you can just show that as your experience. For example, wherever you are working, so you are working in some cost reduction projects, no? Definitely any organization, those type of projects will be taken up, right?
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So for people in quality, like even that was only say, I was actually working in only manufacturing first. I was in production and quality. Then I got certified as Lean Six Sigma and then into PMP. So now I am able to have a very good career in both the training and consultancy, because there are a lot of avenues will open up.
लेकिन ये सही नहीं है सब कुछ ये बिल्कुल सही
So a lot of new avenues will open up when you are. Well, this is a very powerful combination. PMP, Lean Six Sigma, and ISO 9000. So these are very strong this thing. So again, if you want to go for employment, then it can take you to the senior most level in the organization. Or if you want to start your own this thing also, it will be good opportunity.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
sir the training will be individuals or it will be in groups
Yeah, it is normally like if some maybe 5 to 10 people are coming and then they from the same field they are coming and they want to have say group training, that is also possible. But typically we just conduct open training, right? Open training. So again, prescribed timings. And if a group of people are coming from the same industry, then we can give you the industry specific training. So that we will give what are the examples we are going to give. So we can give it from your own field of work so that your understanding will be better. So again, with the help of this chat GPT and other tools, again, we will create some scenario. You can create your own scenario and then learn.
okay got it
Yeah. Okay. Any other questions? Charges for training? Yes. Charges will be there. Again, you can, if you are interested, you can contact these two numbers. Minimum qualification. Sorry, again, I think, sorry. Good question. So there, I was talking to you about three, this thing. So this 5 years, 3 years of project management experience is for the degree holders. Minimum 4 years of academic qualification. So either BTech or BE engineering with 4 years, or you can have a 3 years undergraduate and 2 years postgraduate. So minimum of 4 years of educational qualification, 3 years of experience in project management, and 35 hours of training.